Welcome back to Rebirth Podcast. I'm your host, Shay.
And I'm your boy Corey, aka the Thinker.
And tonight we're going to be talking about iron sharpening iron, men's mental health and accountability. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to tonight's podcast.
Out of the ashes we will soar to a destiny we can't ignore. Heartbeats echo through the night with every dream and endless flight. Together strong, let's break the mold. Our rebirth and stories told. It's time to renew, rebuild, restore. Unlock the dreams we've been waiting for. Rise up higher, more and more. With every breath, a new dawn's roar. Oh.
Welcome to Rebirth Podcast. My name is Shay, and this is.
This
I gotta mess it.
This is. I'm Corey, aka the Thinker. How y'all doing? And this
I had to mess with Corey.
You did.
Welcome back to Rebirth Podcast. We've been out for a couple weeks, but we are back. And we are so happy that you guys took time tonight to tune in. If you have not done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to tonight's podcast. We have an amazing show for you. In the meantime,
What's up?
what's up? What's going on? How you feeling?
Feeling better. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I thought I could manage this whole thing with just some Robitussin, and it wasn't
Okay.
that. Yeah. I
Okay.
had to,
The Robitussin is not tussing.
that ain't tussin. Yeah. I had to
Uh-huh.
go to the doctor and get me an antibiotic. And it was a whole thing. Yeah.
All you needed to do was drink some tea and blow your nose.
that
You
what it
was
was?
fine.
When I went to that doctor, he gave me that copay. I was like, upper respiratory infection. So
Oh, it's an upper respiratory
Yeah,
infection.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So what
Once in a
they're
blue.
treating it with antibiotics?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you was sick.
I was sick.
You weren't faking sick.
No, I wasn't faking sick.
Okay. All right.
See what we get? I had to prove that I was sick. You know what I mean?
It's all good.
You know
I'm
what I
glad
mean?
you're feeling better.
I appreciate it.
Yes,
I appreciate
yes.
it.
So I'm excited about tonight.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Are you
me-
excited?
I sure am.
Yeah, you're in the seat tonight.
I am
Usually
the seat.
you're getting trained, but tonight you're going to be able to.
Yeah, facilitate this whole thing with these guys. I've been around them for several weeks. We've been going at it. So I think I post videos all the time about this whole health journey, right? And I say that like something was wrong, but it's also can be preventative too, right? So I think back in like January, I wanted to go back to the gym. I just never have been like a gym rat. It's just never been my thing. Like when I played sports in high school, I went to the gym if necessary, but I always relied on just me being fast or me being could jump or whatever that was from a basketball perspective. But I never liked working out. Like it was just I didn't want to be sore and all of that. Like that just wasn't my thing.
Okay.
But it becomes necessary as you get older, right? You want to make sure that you're physically fit. Went to the doctor, clean bill of health, everything was good. But when you start to see those charts and you talk about pre-diabetic, you start to talk about potential of high blood pressure. You always like in the range as a black man.
Right.
You if you don't have it, you one Snickers away or one salt shaker away from being something, right?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to stay out of that.
Yeah.
Right. I wanted to stay out of that. So that's how it was from a health perspective for me. But the other part of a personal journey, remember one of my prayers was that I wanted to think about my friend circle today and what I wanted it to be as I kind of look forward in the next 10 years of my life, right? And my prayer was I wanted him to surround me around a group of men that is going to propel me into what I'm supposed to be doing and hold me accountable to do that. And I will be in for sure a week later,
yeah,
one of the gentlemen, Greg, inboxed me and said, "Hey, I want you to come to this therapy gym thing that I'm about to be a part of." And I was just like, okay, right? What time is it?
He was open.
Yeah,
right?
he's like, what time is it? He said 6 a.m. I said, whoa, on a Saturday, brother? He was like, yeah. So I showed up. And that was January something. And I've been going every Saturday and then turned into a gym routine with these gentlemen. And it's definitely been opened up other opportunities for me, for them, and just create. It's everything
Yeah.
that I asked God to do,
Yeah,
and He did it.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we're gonna talk about it tonight.
So before we bring them on, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
So why was it important for you to have this type of circle?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, and you said you started it in January,
Right.
and now we're in April, grade going to May.
Right.
What difference have you seen in yourself?
Yeah.
You know, not just the physical,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, the inside of you.
Yeah. So the first question around why was it important? I think
Mhm.
that you should always do an evaluation of your circle, and it doesn't have to be anything that's bad. But I also believe that you have folks that are keeping you stagnant. You have folks that are going to propel you, and then
Mhm.
you have you. I've always been taught that you have to be around like-minded people, right?
Mhm.
So if
Mhm.
you're talking about mental health, or if you're talking about working out, or if you're talking about sports, or if you're talking about whatever that is, you want to be around folks that are going to help you be in that space,
Mhm.
right? Um, and I wanted to be around men that were doing certain things like that, right? So that was just my ass. It didn't. Nothing was wrong with the circle of friends that I have. Nothing was
Right.
going on with them, but I also knew that in order for I'm preparing for the next 5 years of my
Mhm.
life, and what does that look like?
Mhm.
And if I wanted to be around folks that are doing like-minded things, I have to ask for that.
Yeah.
And sometimes prayer doesn't always need to be about something wrong, or you
Mhm.
sick, or oh my God, this is going on and I'm gonna get this bill paid. Sometimes it's about the friends that you have and what you else you need to be added into your life in a positive way.
Yeah.
So that was the ask, and literally a week later,
It happened.
boom, right?
Yeah.
The second part of that is, so yeah, we've been doing this since January, and what I would say, man, like, and we'll talk about it later in the interview, is that number one, I think I met Greg 4 years ago when
Yeah.
when we did the.
Mhm.
Oh, you wasn't there. You was in what, the Bahamas,
I was
Jamaica.
not, and I was doing a women's retreat.
You was some country.
Whatever.
Some country.
I was doing the women's retreat,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I asked you guys to do the mental health conference
yeah.
for me.
On the
Yes.
riverfront. Yeah, so we
On the
was there, and I
riverfront.
met
Mhm.
Greg, and we've been in contact like once in a blue. Like we'll post something in Hills
Mhm.
inbox, but 4 years ago, somebody that you met planted a seed in your life 5 years
Mhm.
later that's
Mhm.
gonna help, right? So I guess I kind of owe you a little bit for that. So thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
Lunch is fine.
Yeah,
You can treat it a
I know
lunch.
that's where you was going with it, but yeah. So I think that was helpful. But I will
No.
say, going to those
Yeah.
having those conversations have been inspiring for me to sit
Yeah.
and listen to how the stories that men have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Men's stories matter.
Men's stories matter,
Yeah.
and sometimes we don't even feel comfortable telling those stories to other men.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it blends the fitness inside of that. So
Mhm.
we'll talk about it and share what it is. But I've definitely seen it's just opened me up to conversation for myself inside of my own personal life with others, encouraging other men to come. Right. So there's people I may see in the gym and around in my
Yeah.
neighborhood. And I've invited folks to come in. So it's definitely been inspiring and helpful too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the importance of accountability for you, though? As from other men, having accountability from other men.
It's super important
Mhm.
because I think sometimes only men have a certain way of holding men accountable.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think you hear people talk about like being in a foxhole and who's
Yeah.
gonna be the one that's gonna be there to support you. Look to your left, you look to your right. And I think that regardless of whether I'm feeling good in wanting to get up in the morning, literally envision Greg doing these burpees by himself, and I can't let him do that. Or I see Mike. He's going to send a text message and say something like, "Where you been?" or "What are you doing?" And
Yeah.
he's also texting. I feel like he sends a text at like 5 o'clock on purpose to see if you read it, to see if you up.
See if you up.
Yeah. So like if you up and you read
That's
it, why you not in the
your
gym? Yeah.
That's your alarm.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's an accountability to that. And then the other
Yeah.
part of it is I enjoy being around them, and it just generates good conversation and good friendship. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear the conversation. So if you are just tuning in, tonight we're going to be talking about iron sharpens iron, men, mental health, and accountability, and the importance of it. So take this time to share this or send this to a man in your life. and tell them it's time to show up. Tell them it's time to take accountability. You do not want to miss tonight's conversation.
Send it to your man, your uncle, somebody else's man, your friend. Send it to all.
Yes. So we're gonna have a good time, and please feel free to have any questions. You can leave in the chat, and we will make sure that we address those questions as the interview is going on. So again, thank you guys for tuning in to Rebirth Podcast. With that being said, I decided that I'm going to actually be in the audience tonight, and Corey is going to do the interview with our lovely kings that are going to be coming on.
Something about 2026 with you, like you just giving men all kinds of this platforms.
I've always given. Don't do that. I've always given.
I didn't say you didn't do it. You always feel like you take it from them. I'm giving you props. Like,
yes, thank you. But I've always been for my.
She
fans.
has.
Absolutely.
I'm a living proof to that.
Absolutely.
All I'm saying is think about Rebirth Live, what that's potentially going to be around.
Yeah.
Given so it's all good.
Yeah, I think it's important that we are able, as queens, that we are able to sit back and also learn from you guys, and and take in some information. So again, with that being said, I'm going to turn this over to you.
Okay.
I'm going to take a seat in the audience.
Okay.
And you can introduce these kings, and have a great conversation. Okay.
All right.
I'm here if you need me.
Okay. Let's give it up for Shay, who will be exiting stage right. All right. So as I kind of talked about earlier today, a little while ago, we were talking about just how I started this journey, right? So I'm about to introduce two gentlemen. It was three of us, but the Brandon had a conflict. He's in class bettering himself, right? So Bruce Lee won't be actually joining the show, but I want to definitely take a moment to introduce Coach Mike, call him Coach C, and Greg Sneed. These are the two brothers that I work out with, that I go to the gym and therapy that I talk about on Saturdays. So definitely want to introduce both of them. Greg, Mike, tell the audience about yourself. Mike, you go first. Greg, you go second. Introduce yourself. Tell them what you all about. Who are you? What do you do? And what are you about?
Hey, good evening. Yes, Coach C or Mike, Corey, great intro, great show, man. I love the energy already. So me, from Wilmington, Delaware, Coach C. I am a husband. I am a father. I am an entrepreneur. I am a man who's made mistakes, but most importantly, I am a child of God, and I believe fully in my identity. Everything I do every single day now, I try to just tie it back to that. So anyway, that's me. I'm the owner of Fourth Quarter Fitness and also a school program called Better Together. And I'm just here for it all. I'm here for it all. I'm walking in my purpose, and I love what's going on here, and I'm looking forward to talking more about it.
Absolutely. Greg?
Hey, look, tell Coach stop downplaying himself. He's half man, half amazing. He did a 10K. He placed second in his age group. And then the race before that, he placed first in his age group. So tell him stop playing. He half man, half amazing. He the man amongst men.
Right. He does it all the time, right? He's so humble. Then he'll do 50 burpees in a row and be like, yeah. But go ahead, Greg, introduce yourself to the group.
My name is Greg Sneed. Like Coach said, I'm a child of God. I'm a husband. I'm a son. I'm a father. I'm an uncle. I'm a brother. I'm an owner of Greater Self Therapeutic Services. I started a mental health practice designed for men, providing them a safe space for opening up, identifying triggers, learning coping skills, just a place where they can come, put their feet up, and talk about what's going on in their mind, right? And I set most major insurances in the state of Delaware. And of course, I don't think I set up my brother, of course.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So welcome both of you all. So we're going to kind of shift it around a little bit tonight. So one of the things we're going to talk about, a couple of things. One, we're going to talk about what we do on, on Saturdays. We're going to talk about why mental health and physical health is important. And then treat for the audience. We're going to actually do what we do on Saturdays, have some questions thrown out there. We're going to treat it just like we in our gym session on Saturdays and kick some questions around. So y'all ready for that?
Ready for it, bro.
All right, bet. So these a man's world is what it's called, Mike, right? So you started this not only fourth quarter fitness, but a man's world is the gym sessions and the therapy sessions that we have on Saturdays. So can you tell the audience what made you want to start these gym sessions, these therapy sessions, and why is fitness and mental health so important to you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So most men play sports, played on teams and whatnot. So if you did that before, you know it's a different type of camaraderie. I ain't talking about whether you like everybody on the team. I ain't talking about whether you like the coach. I'm talking about getting out there and having that grind with somebody next to you for 4 quarters, trying to win championships, trying to win games, wins or losses. So it's a connection that's built there, and it's different than a family connection growing up in your family. And I always felt like since playing, and like the guy said, I am pretty humble about a lot of stuff, but since playing in all the leagues I played in, since playing in NFL, since being part of teams, and I wasn't anymore, that was missing. So I heard of this thing called F3, which is just for men. And I went to a few sessions and I seen what they were doing. And it was great. It was really great. But I noticed that I was the only colored person, you know, and I seen the benefits that was going on, but it was not many of us. So anyway, having my own gym, having my own space, and with the launch date of my gym, that's something I put on my mind to do. So we launched it, and it's been a great success. And why is it so important? Like I referenced with the team sports analogy, man. Sometimes men just need to be in close proximity, and we ain't got to say nothing. Sometimes we got to be in close proximity, and we just got to crack jokes on each other. Sometimes we got to be in close proximity, and we just got to see each other working, and it pushes you, man. Let me just shout out 2 of my best friends, man. You know, we might not speak for 3 weeks, but the very next time we speak, we on point. You know, we know how to talk to each other without talking to each other. We know how to talk to each other when we're over talking, and we know what's really being said. And that's the type of stuff we look, because we all grinding with each other. So that's the environment I want to create. I think it's been a success. I don't want to over talk this, but man, you got to come and experience it. You got to come and experience it. And if you know what that team atmosphere is like, you know, championship or no championship, just being in the grind in the season, you'll understand. And that's kind of the flow and the feeling that you have with it, let alone the therapeutic feeling that you just can't explain. You know what I mean? You can't even put a dollar on it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Greg.
Mm-hmm.
My
For
brother in the journey of working out. Right.
For me, so I met Mike probably like, I want to say last summer, or maybe 2 summers ago. And immediately he just had that aura about him that, like I said, he's a man amongst men, right? And he had kids workouts. I started taking my kids to his workouts, and the way that he was just leading them. Like sometimes you see men that get angry, they gotta yell, they gotta raise their voice. He always had an even tone, and he was just leading the workouts real well. And I just knew it was whatever he had, I was something that I wanted to be a part of. And he would always, you know, support me in business. I would support him. And I think it all just came together from around the time his gym opened, like 3 weeks before that, or maybe a month before that. You had hit me when you seen the Kirk Franklin thing and said, hey, this would be dope. We should do this. And I was like, yo, I'm all for it, but you got to start it. I ain't really good with starting stuff. And then, right. And then he hit me. It was like, oh, you know, my grand opening for the gym. Saturday's going to be a man's world. I went to the first one, and literally I came home and started telling my wife, and I literally started hitting people that I knew would benefit from it and add value to the room immediately. And like you was telling Shay, it's been a game changer. Like I've missed a couple, but like no matter what I do on Friday nights, like I look forward to getting up on Saturday morning to come to have that dialogue.
Cool conversation. Now, so to kind of piggyback on what you just said, right? So it's definitely beneficial. We have a good time, but tell me about what motivates you every Saturday to get up. I'm assuming 5:15, be there by 6 o'clock, pull that chair up and share some of the things that we share amongst that circle. And we'll kind of get into a little bit of some of the things that are not necessarily the person, but some of the stories that we hear coming in and out of those doors. Because I think those are powerful. And I always walk away with like, wow, like somebody else is going through some of these things, right? And I think they always leave inspired. They always feel good about it. And so talk to me about what do you get out of those sessions, and what inspires you to get up and come every Saturday?
I'll be real. So the first two things that come to mind when you say that is, one, that week when you asked that question, when was the first time you felt yourself shrinking or pulling back to fit into a space, right? Like questions like that just provoke thought in me. It gets my mindset right for the week. I think one week Mike had us, speak with your eulogy, with people around you would say, or with God would look on the life that you led. Like those questions put me in a healthy mindset and have me thinking positively and thinking, what impact am I trying to leave on the world? Like, what did I set goals this week? Did I work to reach my goals? It just helps me focus. It ends my week and it starts my week off on a positive basis. It does both of those things for me.
Awesome. Mike, so you are the one that's also facilitating a lot of these conversations, right? So you have a clipboard, you come in, 4 black chairs around. Talk about your first session that you did this. I'm sure it came with a lot of nerves and, who's going to walk through those doors, but also where do you get your questions from, and what motivates you to come and ask the questions to facilitate that conversation?
Yeah. So my questions come from, let me preface this. So because I've been at the top and I've fallen, because I've made mistakes and I had to figure out ways to get up, because I've seen other people have struggled and knew that they could do it, it stimulates something in me to just, water seeds. So the questions always come from a pain point or a destination of you can, or there is more. I mean, my whole memo on my fitness business is faith, fitness, and purpose. So everything derives from there. And then it's just the creativity after that. I know you guys seen over the last couple of weeks, I've been making sure I throw it out there for y'all to have questions and whatnot. So that first one, I just knew I wanted to win. That's point blank simple. I wanted to win. I wanted something successful. And if one person showed up, it was going to be on point. If 5 people showed up, it's going to be on point. And I just had my mind made up, man. I think I've, we talk about our sessions and how we express stuff in the vulnerability. I've said to y'all heard me say, and it's something I didn't always say out loud. It's like, I got to do this. I got to do this no matter what it looks like, because I feel like it's in me, and I think the questions, like, or you come with some great questions. I love hearing that, like Greg just pointed out, and how he talks about his sons. And Greg made a great point of his destination of where he wants to be with his sons in 10 years, when they're teenagers, what he wants to do with them. And when you think like that and have questions that stimulate those type of movement in your life, man, you can't compare that to anything else. You know what I mean? That
Sure.
is such an authentic motivation. You know what I mean? So anyway, like, you see, we off to the races, man.
It's crazy because I would say we're all like Shay was calling us kings, but we're all like kings in our own profession, right? Like Mike is the guru of working out, right? I'm a therapist. Corey's like he said, the thinker, the conversationist. We got Bruce Lee, who's just a different animal. And it's like we all throw out ideas to strengthen somebody else when they're going through a struggling moment, whether it's life experience, whether it's book knowledge. It's like we're all kings, but we sharpen each other while strengthening each other. It's not like we beating each other down to build us back up. Like, no, it's like, yo, try this intermittent fasting tool, right? Try this thought blocking tool. Or hey, Greg, did you ever think about therapy in this? Like everybody is just providing positive energy for you to take out of that gym setting and apply it to your everyday life. It's motivating. It's refreshing. It feels good, to be honest.
Yeah. So one of the things that so 2 things I want to get into. What are some highlights of our gym, our Saturday sessions that stick in your mind? But before we get into that, Mike, talk about like the importance of physical fitness. I know I was talking in the beginning, when Shay was in, just thinking about like clean bill of health. They say like a person can have 1,000 problems, but if you have a health problem, you got 1 problem, right? So talk to us about the importance of just doing something. Like, it doesn't have to mean that you have to lift 1,000,000 pounds, right? But the importance of just really being fit and in shape and coming in, and how that helps your mental health.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to just having the true confidence. I think some of us walk around with this false confidence because you haven't been tested, or because you had victories not related to the gym. You had financial victories at work. You had relationship victories, you know, and the physical part gets left behind. And then we get in a place where we have certain issues, you know, high blood pressure, hypertension, gout, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. I can think of 3 individuals, friends of mine, that I've lost since 40. And I just turned 40, or I'm 45 now. Since 40, that I've lost 3 individuals, and it's all related to health stuff. And I think it wouldn't have happened if they were in just a better health stance. So overall, it's something that needs to be addressed. You remember when it was a stigma to talk about mental health? You remember when it was like, nah, you don't go to therapy? You remember all that, right? My question is, why do we still do that with physical health? Why is it still like, you see your man's not looking good, you see your man's got the dark eyes, you see your man's got, you know what I mean? You see it, but yet you say you love him, but you ain't addressing it. You're not saying that. You're not saying let's go for a workout, but you'll say let's go eat. You'll say, you know what I mean, let me get you a drink. So I think it's time that we put that stamp forward, especially Black men. I think it's time that we make that move. It's important because with the knowledge that's going on, you know, we talking about legacies and having trust funds. We got to take that shift with our physical health, knowing that it's right in front of our face and we ignore it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I
go ahead, Greg.
I like what Mike called it when he say functional fitness. I remember like the first week I'm working out with him. He got the hand mittens. He got me throwing punches, and I ain't counting right. I'm dead tired. My mental is gone. And he looked at me in an encouraging way, though. He said, when's the last time you threw 150 punches? Right? Like, think about it. Like, we want to defend our family. We want to do this. We want to do that. But when was the last time we actually did a functional fitness, right? When was the last time we squatted? When was the last time that, you know, body weight squat? When was the last time you got down and did a push-up or jump rope and walk out? So, like, we work out, but we're not trying to get to 315 or 425 or the 500 club. We're doing functional fitness that everybody should be able to do, right? Every man should be able to throw 100 punches. Every man should be able to squat his own body weight or get down and do 5 push-ups or whatever. So,
yeah, and the thing about Mike, he makes it realistic for you, right? If you had to get somebody off of you, could you do it?
Yeah.
Right. I sent the video in our group chat the other day. It was about it was a woman that she got physically attacked. And if she hadn't been physically fit, she would not have been able to get away.
Yeah.
Right. And with that being said, too, Mike, you know, we're talking about, you know, it's men that are in the gym with you, but you also train women that are in the gym with us as too, right? So you could definitely share a little bit about that. And, you know, Greg always messing with Kyra.
I call her his lab baby, right? Because this morning I'm doing rolls with 50, and Kyra's been working out with him for years, and she's doing rolls with 40, just as many as me, right? Or we running laps around the building, and I'm talking trash to her, and then by the end, she's waving me on, like, come on, like, hurry up, no walking. You know what I mean? But it's all positive energy. Like, literally, I feel like everybody I see in his gym is like family, right? Everybody in that environment is always motivating. We always support. And it's weird. Me as a therapist, I'm the only one that's probably like saying something negative. You know what I mean? But we all just have a good time and feed off each other for real.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things I wanted to highlight real quick too, what are so we have these sessions on Saturdays, and I'll be honest with you, like there's folks that come in and out. So the circle changes, right? This is our core 4. So shout out to Brandon, who couldn't make it today, but it's our core 4. But there have been men that have come in and out, and some of the stories that come and sit in those chairs, I'll be like, what? Right? Any highlights that you walk away from, and some of them like, wow, that was powerful. Any of those for y'all?
Yeah, I'll go, and I'll keep it PG. It's especially in the different locker rooms I've been. Let me start by saying that, man. I done heard some wild stuff in locker rooms. You be like, yo, like that happened to you? You know what I mean? Like, you know, the point I'm trying to make is, man, what I love is you see people, you get in a space where you want to open up. Shout out to Cop. He become consistently last 2 weeks. And I love seeing them open up. But more importantly, it stands out to me that they are willing to be vulnerable. Anytime I get a little lost and caught up in my own stuff, you hear something that somebody else got going on, and you can be grateful that that's not your problem, and you can be grateful someone can listen to your problem and offer insight. And that's probably the biggest thing is when you hear somebody say something, they'll get the support, and you'll hear the feedback for encouragement. Now, you know how it is with men, most men. We all got feelings, but ain't nothing wrong with laughing sometimes. It ain't nothing wrong with laughing. I done seen Corey try to hold back the laugh. I done definitely held back a laugh before with Greg, and I done got laughed at. It happens, and I think that's all just a mixture of just that good manhood. Iron sharpening iron it's not just rough and gritty. It's also fun. You know what I mean? It's also relaxing at times. I got a clock. I try to keep everything calculated, and sometimes we be 15 minutes over our time on one particular question or subject.
Yeah.
For me, like I thought to piggyback off what Coach said. Sorry to cut you off, Corey. Like that brother coming in and saying that he shared something with us that he's never shared with anybody, right? And the only person he knew in that room was you. And he was like, "Yo, I've never shared this in X amount of years," and that it left like it said us something about the setting, the tone that we set in that room for him to come in and feel comfortable to immediately share that. Like that was a big takeaway for me. And then the second one was like on a personal level. I remember I was helping a brother out, like he was saying something about his thoughts, and I was telling him how he could kind of manage his thoughts. And then it came around to my turn, and I was talking about my diet. He was like, "Yo, the same way you told me to challenge my thoughts is the same thing you should apply to your diet." And he didn't say it to throw a jab. He said it as, "Hey, yo, I go through this. I want to eat certain stuff, but I challenge it. I lock in, and I encourage you to do the same thing with your diet." So it's just back to that iron sharpening iron, where I'm the expert in this field maybe, and he's the expert in that field. He throw me something, I throw him something, and we just feed off each other in a positive way.
Yeah. So now that you done said that, Greg, and I don't know who wants to share this song about funny.
Right.
One of the classic moments forever will be Greg's story. Greg, you want to tell the story real quick?
No, let me tell it.
If Mike tell? Mike, go ahead. Mike, tell the story, because
not good, Greg.
Every time I go to the store, I'm like, "Yo, I will never forget this as long as I live."
They judging me, world. They judging me.
Yeah, you
go ahead, Greg. It's your story, good, bro.
Hey, now you good. So we was talking. It was one of those things like, where do you lack self-control, or one of those like questions. And like it was in a space. So I'm opening up, I'm being vulnerable. I'm telling them Welch's grapefruit. There was Welch's fruit packs. I can sit and I put 10, 15 of them in a cup, and I just sit and bang them out and drown them in my mouth and eat pack after pack just consistently. You know what I mean? And they're kind of looking at me like, "Yo, are you serious? Like, what are you doing? You killing yourself, but you killing your gains more importantly." And that's when the fellas started giving tips like, "Yo, let's try intermittent fasting. Like, we're not eating nothing before 1 and nothing after 7, right? Let's try no sugar, protein, this." Like, you know what I mean? It's just positive energy.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, and we and that's a good point, right? I think this to kind of put in there some of those moments where I was just like, wow. I mean, we've had folks like you talked about what he said. I've never shared this story with anybody, right? And I'm sitting there like, whoa. Right, like never shared the story with anybody, and it was such a release for him to talk about. I think it was a loss of a child, right, and he had never shared that, just the perspective of a man and a father losing a child, and how that helped him go have additional conversation. It was just a release for him, and it propelled him to come back the following week because he just felt so comfortable talking to us, right? And that just kind of shares the environment that we set. I remember the gentleman that came in. And he just had a rough week, and he was talking about like his stepkids and how he struggles with them. Like sometimes I just want to punch him in his face. You know what I mean? Like, but if you're a man, you go through that. Sometimes you just want to like, you want to shore up some type of way, right? But we walked him through other ways to how to take care of that aggression, right? Because if he doesn't come in, he said, thinking whether it was a therapist friend or a friend of him told him that he needed to come to the session, and he said he promised that he would come, but it also shared him another way to go have a conversation and go deal with his aggression or go deal with the pain that he was dealing with. And he walked out and he felt good about himself, and he even said it back in the chat. It was like, yo, I wasn't expecting that, but I feel so good about what I shared, and I'm coming back, right? So that was just, it was awesome. It was powerful. So next segment we gonna get into.
And I haven't had a pack of those Welch's fruit snacks since we had that conversation either. I just want to throw it out there.
Haven't had one?
Yeah, I haven't had one at all.
But are they in the house though?
Yeah, they in the house. They're in the house, man.
I need a witness other than you. Right. I need somebody else to confirm that. Nah.
He said he put them in a cup like sunflower seeds. I was in tears. I was like, I ain't never heard 10 packs. That's crazy. That's crazy. So question so we're gonna get into the next segment. In the next segment, I kind of want to reimagine that we're in the gym on a Saturday, 6 a.m, the sun's setting, was coming up, right? And we said we got the chairs around. We just won't do it with the push-ups. Coach, we're going to hand it to you, and you kind of recreate. I don't know if you have the clock with you. You can set it to 2 minutes, 1 minute, whatever you want to do, and go and showcase what we do on Saturdays for the men that we want to showcase and come out.
Right. So, like we said, we talk, we do our intros, and questions are thrown out there. But at some point, we got to have a physical fitness aspect. Usually, we try to do 2, maybe 3 if we can. But for instance, we put up the chairs. I had a clock set, and I would give the instructions on what exercise we about to do. Let's just say we're going to do 5 exercises. We're going to start off with 10 jumping jacks. We're going to do 10 push-ups. You're going to do, come back on your feet, do 10 lunges, then do 10 punches, and then we'll finish off with a 10-second plank. And we'll do it for 5 rounds. And I'll I'll say everybody's going to take a turn leading. And when it's your turn, it's on you. You on the spot. That's one of the biggest things I like about it, man. It's like a shared leadership. You know what I mean? It's a shared responsibility. We did this past Saturday, no names. We had somebody who couldn't jump rope too well. So while we holding the plank, man, we held the plank even longer because somebody couldn't jump rope so well. I mean, it is what it is. That's what we did. We cheered them on. We made jokes, but you know what I mean. It was a positive environment, and I think it encouraged them to jump rope some more. And nevertheless, it's all in the name of growth. You know what I mean? So it's a physical aspect that you can apply, and it's just a reminder, man. You can do it. You can get through it. You'll be all right.
Yeah, it was funny because he said, so we're all holding the plank, so everybody got to hold the plank while everybody counts the 50 jumps. He said, y'all gonna be down there for a while. So everybody's rhythm was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he was like 1,
1, 2, 1,
2, oh, what? And we were sitting there holding the plank, like, and look, Mike is such a leader. Mike just kept. I see Mike said, "All right, 10." I was like, Mike, you gonna stop? Like, I can't hold it no more, bro. And he's like, no, we're gonna get to 50. So we just holding that butt. When we got done, he was like, yo, I gotta get out there and jump rope more. So to your point, we all held stuff and we waited, right? And and that's what leadership also looks like. You gotta be able to follow in order to lead, but it was a brotherhood. And to your point, this is Saturday, this would be his 3rd week coming back, right? Because he started to come, and I really like this, right? He's implemented some things in his life, whether it's in his relationship, because he shared that, and then also what he's doing with his family. So, what's the
and I hold on, and I don't know who's
okay, Greg.
My fault. I don't know who started it, but after every set, all the brothers come in and shake each other's hand. Like, it's just naturally. Like, I don't think Coach ever said like, I dap anybody up or say good job. It's just after we put in that work and we all sweating and breathing hard, like we all dap each other up and make sure like even my man who couldn't jump rope, like, bro, good job, good work, like good job, showing up. So it's just a supportive environment where it's everybody just feeling cared and relieved, even after working out.
For sure. So Mike, what's the question? What's the question for me and Greg?
All right, question for you. So if you meet your death day, and you standing before the Lord, and he says to you, I gave you all this potential. What do you have to show for it? what would you say? What could you say? And how would you feel about what you said with your time on this planet, on this earth? And let me go deeper with that. Remember, he gave you a mother, he gave you a father. Like him or not, he gave it to you. Your children, he gave them to you. A job, he gave it to you. If you lost your job, he did that for the greater things to come. You survived 100% of your days until that point where you met him. All the times that you cursed people out, all the times you didn't like something, but he gave it to you. So anyway, my question is, what would you have to say for the potential that he gave you? What did you do with it? What would you be saying to our maker?
I'm gonna shift it to Greg first. Go ahead, Greg. Mike came deep with that question. That was I was good with the first half, and then he said the Lord's gonna be there. I'm like, okay. Jesus came out the back. All right.
Yeah. I got always feel like I say something and then Corey clean it up and say what I was supposed to say. So we're going first. But not like I honestly feel like he would say, I reached my potential, right? I take care of my wife, I take care of my kids, I take care of my mother, my nieces and nephew, I take care of my family. I honor, I'm thankful, I'm grateful for my job and every opportunity he's placed in front of me. Where he would definitely say that I could do a better job and I should have worked harder and I should have reached my full potential is what I would call my worldly outreach, right? Whether that's the posting on social media, whether that's the public speaking, whether that's seeing another brother at the gas station and just providing some motivation or, that word of affirmation or even shaking his hand or giving him a hug or a young lady. Like I be in those places sometimes and something might be on my spirit to say something to somebody. And I'm like, that's not my place, right? Or it might be see a brother at the gas pump, like, yo, put gas in his car for him. And I'll kind of pull back. So I think in that way, like, he would definitely let me know I didn't reach my potential and I didn't do everything he called me to do in that life, to be honest.
Yeah. Good answer though. And I love how you reference your family, Greg.
All right.
Yeah. Greg always does that. Greg makes me want to have more kids.
Right.
But I think for me, I think he would be happy with the way that I just extend unconditional love to people. Right? Like, regardless of whatever you got going on, I'm still going to care for you either way. Right? And I try not to hold grudges, even though I struggle with that sometimes, but I try to show up either way, right? It doesn't matter. I try to remove how I feel about something and consistently show up, whether that's family, friends. I've been talking about this whole thing that Mayana Van Zant said a couple months, and I've been talking about it every week that we're in, that she says the heart is progressive, the mind is what holds you back, right? And I try to lead that way, and I try to love on my family and friends that way. I think the thing that he would say, which is scary for me, if he was to go and say, Corey, follow me down this hallway and open a door and say, here's what I had planned for you if you would have did what I asked you to do when it came to your gift of speaking to people. Right? So with that being said, even though coming to these sessions have helped me just share things, but it's also inspired me into the entrepreneurial space, right? So I was telling y'all that the LLC is almost done. So I have a meeting about that Friday. That should be wrapped up. And then, more and more and more and more walking away from corporate America is more in the forefront of my mind and may happen in 2026 for me. Right. So, but that's coming from these conversations. It is everything that I asked God to do, and you guys are doing it for me. Right. So I appreciate it. And one of the things that I didn't share with you all is that, well, even me being single and as in not married, right? And you all, everybody in the circle for the most part is married. You guys inspire me to get married also, right? So like to talk about like you just have a wife that's being able to think, even Kyle was even saying, right? My wife is on social media, she's doing this and doing that. Like, man, like, okay, well, and you talk about, I walked in the gym one Saturday and you and Mike, you were working out with your wife, and Greg, you always talk about your wife and how, I think we talked about the same question that Mike asked, and you were like, "No, I love my family. I have my wife, and that's all I need." And I think that's inspiring for folks that walk in and out of those rooms to hear that, because you don't hear men talk about the positivities of their relationship. We always show up when I'm done, right? I'm sick of her, right? So I think that's important. So thank you all for dropping those nuggets for all of us, and especially for me. We got another question, Mike. Go ahead.
All right, another one. Where are you holding back in your life? So you already pretty much said you already talked about the potential, but just taking it a step further, where are you holding back? Where do you need to go ahead and let go? Greg always mentions social media, and Greg, I'm gonna make you on the spot a little bit. How you think you're not good at something when we all clearly you are. Corey, we pointed, the whole group has pointed out one of your most amazing talents repeatedly. You know what I mean? So anyway, the question is where you need to just let go and go for it. You know what I mean? More than just your potential, but you're holding yourself back.
I go again. I feel like I kind of said that public speaking part, or putting myself out in rooms to make myself uncomfortable, right? Like you said it before when we was at the firefighter thing, and you was like, "Did he rehearse that? He always say he's not good at public speaking, but where is he getting this from?" Right? Like somebody will offer me to do an event, and I'll immediately start coming up in my mind of all the things I got to do and why I can't be there, because like I feel like I'm not good enough, or I'm not supposed to do it. It's not my calling. So I definitely, realize that's my area of holding back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me it would just be overthinking is one. Two, getting to this all protein and vegetable diet that Mike keeps talking about and sending in his chat. I think that's part two. And I think this continuing to distrust myself with my own gift, right? I think that everybody will see it, but sometimes you have to trust yourself with your own gift consistently. I heard this thing, and it says most people do not fail because of actual failure. They fail, especially in the influencer, social media, podcasting arena. They fail because the gap between making it and when it's quiet is where they fail, right? They don't see as many people liking a post, or they don't see as many people sharing it. That's the fail point. It's not about that they're scared to do it. It's the fact that they don't see the attachment, and that's the fail point, right? And I think those are the things that we have to continue to encourage ourselves. When we don't step on the scale and we don't see the pound come down 2 more pounds or whatever that is, or we have our at the end of the month we have our fitness test, right? And in a fitness test, it's like sometimes you trying to beat your time from the previous month, and that's the goal. But the fact that you're even able to accomplish or show up is important as well, because we can just say like I ain't bet you no more. I didn't get 13 reps like I was supposed to. I didn't beat my time. But our ability to be there and continue to push is just as important.
All right. Well said.
Mike, what about you? Where you feel like you holding back?
I said it before, and it's really just repeating because I'm working on it daily, and that's getting out of a place of worrying about other people's comfort. I'm not in charge of your comfort, and I'm growing more into this. You know what I mean? I got my friend, hopefully you watching, man, my boy Clem, Wrong and Strong, man. He don't give a damn about your comfort. Like he like, yo, this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. This is what I said. You know what I mean? And I like that because I'm on a mission of purpose, and I can't worry about your comfort. I got to worry about your growth. I got to worry about how you grow. How am I helping you grow? I got a son, freshman at Del State. I got a daughter married. And I love where they're at. And I think a lot of it was just subconsciously me moving out of the way of always trying to make sure I'm in charge with their growth. And my wife is a great support system. It lets me expand on being that person that can help other people grow. So with that being said, I just got to keep working on letting go of thinking about how comfortable you are, because that's not where you're going to grow. And I truly believe that's what I'm charged with. So I think it's a disrespect to God when I'm trying to he'll take care of your comfort. I got a job to do. I got a piece to play, and that's how can we grow? What can we do to get better? So that's what I'm trying to work at.
Awesome. One of the things, so real quick, there's a couple of comments. So hi mom. She said, good stuff, gentlemen. Shay's in the audience, right? She said this is good. Simone Burke Cousin says good conversation. And there's like Sean 61, brotherhood, kings adjusting each other's crowns. Love it. Keep it going. And that's really the goal, right, for us. So that's why the title is this is Iron Sharpens Iron. So as we kind of get ready to close out, y'all, like, what is the thing that we want the audience to walk away with, based off of not only the conversation, but what you are trying to accomplish, Mike? Obviously, Greg, you're a therapist. What are the things that we want folks to kind of walk away with?
You want to go first, Greg?
Yeah, I can. Are we saying about the Saturday group or just life in general?
I think the Saturday group is a big one, right? I think the Saturday one, but I mean, you can do both, though. I mean, yeah. I think the Saturday group and what propels outside of the Saturday group.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say honestly, once I asked the question, I feel like it's both ties in the same. I think we definitely got to take care of our mental and our physical health, and we definitely got to put ourselves in situations where we're working to better ourselves, right? Like I remember one day we're doing some crazy workout on Saturday that Mike had us doing. And in the middle of it, I said, damn, excuse my language. I said, this is where friendship looks like in your 40s, I guess, right? Like normally as Black men, if you're hanging around with other Black men, it's either alcohol involved, food involved, tobacco, marijuana involved, right? It's a lot of times we're not putting ourselves in situations that are good for our mental and our physical health, where we can talk seriously about situations or things we're going through and not worrying about it being gossip in the background. And we getting sound, good advice from individuals that may have experienced something about it, read about it, whatever the case may be. So I think it's all about putting yourself in rooms that you're better in your physical and your mental health, and you're becoming a better person, the best version of yourself. And that's what the Saturday groups do for me. I hope it do that for everybody. But if it's not the Saturday group, make sure whoever you're surrounding yourself with, or put you in a position to win, put you in a position to be the best version of yourself.
Okay,
sure.
Well said,
Mike.
Yeah, my takeaway, one, for the men, I just want to remind us to understand your identity. I think with life and the trials and the tribulations, especially us from urban environments, man, you get so caught up with conquering conflict and adversity and building a family and having a job, maintaining a job, having a reputation, that your identity kind of gets caught up in that. You lose either touch with God or really in touch with who you are. And I think a lot of us know who we are because we think about it and it resonates with us, whether it be videos or conversations, but yet our physique doesn't match it. So I just want to encourage men, definitely come out on Saturday, but just understand who you are. You're a family man, you're a father, but don't let your identity be washed away because all you want to do is take care of things that are not helping you grow. And I think that's dangerous. Like I said, you can make a lot of money, but you're not growing and taking care of the capsule that you have so that you can continue to do things for those same people. It's really not worth it, I believe. And then for everybody, entire audience, all of us are in the fourth quarter. And that's part of the reason why I named my business that, the fourth quarter. Like, you never know what's next. Corey makes a great analogy, and there was an accident a couple of weeks, but the point is we take for granted that we made it home after going out all day. We take for granted sometimes the things that could have happened that you see on the news. It could have been you, it could have been a loved one. So you never know when your last moment is. So you could be in the fourth quarter right now, about to lose somebody, about to lose a job, about to have some calamity happen in your life. And that's why you need to be moving and operating like the person that you need to be. And more importantly, so that people can really see who you are. And that's everybody, men, women, children, So just take reins of, this is the fourth quarter. Live like that. You got to fight for what is inside of you. You can't let the world beat you or make your light dim. It's a reason why y'all started Rebirth. It's a reason why, Corey, you're compelled to say the things that you say. Greg, without a doubt, it's the reason why you became a therapist. It tells, and it's not just about money. You know what I mean? I challenge everybody to step in that direction. You know, but that's it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I would say I want folks to walk, I mean, just really from men, like, you know, one of the things about me, and sometimes it gets me in trouble, but I don't really care. I'm unapologetically rooting for men to make the best decision for themselves, right? Like, I don't really get caught up into titles, so per se, right? I think that we hold back so much and we suppress so much, and when men walk through these doors on Saturday, and some of the things that they share before the workout, after the workout, is just, I think people would be blown away. Not only if men were to listen to it, but I think also the women in our lives and the kids in our lives were to hear some of the things that us men struggle with and the things that we contemplate. I heard, I was watching this clip that's kind of going viral now, Roland Martin. I think everybody knows who Roland Martin is. And they're obviously talking about a case that happened where I forget the young lady's name, and she was on vacation with her fiance, and she wound up she passed away. How it happened, whether they're saying it's suicide or they think he did something. And one of the things, and there's several stories out there like that right now, and one of the things he was talking about was, I'm not advocating for the action. What I am saying is that we need to every day we are sitting next to a man driving next to, working out next to, on social media next to a man that could potentially be on the brink of doing something similar, because he has nowhere to put his aggression. He doesn't know how to solve conflict. He doesn't know who to talk to, and he could potentially lose it. And one of the young ladies was on her show. She's a lawyer, and she said she was helping a guy with one of his cases, and he called her in the middle of the night, and he said, "I'm sorry that it's so late to call you," but his girlfriend was going off in the house. She's breaking stuff and going off, and he says, "Sorry, I'm calling you. I know it's 10 o'clock, but I'm about to snap." And she says, "No, you're not. You're going to go get a hotel room. You're going to chill out, and you're going to work at it another day." And he said, "Thank you." And he made, so many people don't have that phone call to make. So the spaces that we're providing on Saturdays at 6, or when we work out during the week, it's so important for us men, especially Black men, to have a place where we can just be heard, share, let it out, share like-minded stories of all the stuff that we go through, from all of it, right? It could be relationships, it could be sex, our kids, all kinds of crazy stuff, right? So I think it's super important. So hats off to you all for showing up, sharing your stories. It's inspiring to all of us, honestly, me. And I hope that men that are listening, the females that are listening, please encourage your male to come out and this kind of kick it with us. We actually have a really good time.
Man. And I want to make sure we add, and it might not be important to some, but even for the Christian brothers, like, it's, you know, we're not forcing religion on anybody by no means, but every Saturday we also end in prayer, right? Like we rotate, take turns. Where this week might be my Saturday to end in prayer, and we just trying to strengthen, encourage each other, and keep each other in the right mindset. To be honest, it's a positive environment to be a part of.
And I know, Mike, we were talking about in one of the sessions, how do we expand this? Just looking for different ways to get other men to come out, and which leads to one of the questions that's in the chat here. It says, "Why 6 a.m.?" You know, Mike just be up, right? So, like, they say, "Why?"
I'm gonna be honest. For me though, like 6 a.m. work better. So my wife said the same thing, right? And I had to pose it to her. I said, "Well, Dag, if I told you every Saturday I was going to this place at 1 o'clock, what would your response be?"
Exactly.
She looked at me like, "Yeah, exactly. Like every Saturday, I'm gonna disrupt their family time to do my own thing, right? It might be okay if I do it once or twice a month, but every Saturday I hit the gym at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 7:30 while you and the kids sleep. I come home and make breakfast. It's like y'all didn't even miss me. I come home in a positive mindset. I feel refreshed. I got whatever off my chest for that particular week or day. You know what I mean? And I'm able to come in and have the rest of the day for my family. So 6 work for me. I don't know about, you know, Mike or Corey.
Six work because it's the first thing you do in the morning. And how many times do we let the week get in our way of our goals? How many times do you let the kids, the family, Greg just laid it out perfect, 6 a.m. And none of your kids up at 6 a.m. So don't even make no excuse. Get up. Let's go. If you sleep faster, stop hanging out Friday night. Get in the bed.
Sleep faster is crazy.
So,
see, those are the things that coaches say.
Right.
Sleep faster. I don't eat for pleasure. I eat for purpose. Like these are the things that he just be saying. Like, you know what I mean?
I guarantee it won't kill you to wake up. Guarantee it. Try it.
Hey, well, I will say I've been going to this gym since January, and this man has not been late one day. Like if he says he's open at 4:30, by the time I get there at 4:28, the door's unlocked. He's mopping, waiting for me to come in. Like he's the most consistent dude that I've met in a long time. I can't. That's why I call him.
And we work out at 5:30. Mike has a class at 4:30.
Yeah.
Right. So like, yeah. Shout out to them. And they can get there at 4:30.
813 Churchman's Road in Newcastle, Delaware. Come past, sign up, give it a shot. You can always go back to sleep later or the next day. Just give it a shot.
I definitely
kids too, actually, though. Like I said, when I started taking my kids to his like football workouts, I can't remember if it was one summer or 2 summers ago, but like my kids actually thought like he was their coach and he was part of a team. Like even to this day, they're like, "What you mean you're going to see coach? Like we can't go?" I'm like, "Bro, you're not on coach's team. Like he just worked you out a couple Saturdays and that's it. Like coach ain't worrying about you right now." But like he was so good with my kids at that age, it was actually crazy for real.
They got it.
That's funny. So a couple of more comments. Nikki Coleman says, "God bless. Keep pouring into each other as Black men. It's needed and it's amazing. Keep pushing." Jennifer said, "No lies told. He'd be up in the middle of the night." Probably so. The sleep faster is diabolical. It is. That was crazy. Sleep faster. But any last comments from you all? Anything you want to share? I know there's some things that we want to put up on the screen, just to kind of encourage the things you got going on, Mike. But anything you all want to share?
I want to say this month for the fitness test, I'm beating old man Corey. Every month, Corey wins in the men's category. Like, I don't know where this dude gets his energy from or where this footwork come from this dude, but like, it's ridiculous, man. This month, I'm coming for his head, man. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. That means I got to go first.
Next week, fitness test. But let me just add, man, just one more. I kind of brought it up earlier, man. This is for the audience, man. Listen, all of those bad days you had, you survived. All of those things you thought were going to take you out, you survived. All of those problems, issues you talk about, you survived. It's a reason why you're here. It's a reason why you want the better body. It's a reason why you feel compelled to do this stuff. Take a step. We're running out of time. Take a step. Just try. You can have the body you want. You can have the body that's for you. You can have much more than what you have, but you got to be uncomfortable and you got to be consistent. And then watch the glory of God come behind you. Take a step. Stop sitting back in your comfort. You can do it. Keep going. It is time. Let's go.
Definitely.
Yeah. So real quick, Greg, you down how many pounds, or you at your goal?
24 since January. 24 since January 1st. I started off at 272. I was 248 the other day, and that was with consistently working out. That was with coach telling me to do the intermittent fasting. And y'all riding me about my fruit snacks. Right. Now they trying to get us on this protein, all vegetables. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to see. But honestly, like, it just gives me a safe space to come in and have a good time, talk about what I got going on, and also provide, give feedback and provide, pour in the other brothers.
Right.
Around a good space for me. I think this morning I was telling coach, like, by me coming to the gym every morning, it just gets my day started so much better. Like, I beat my kids up, so by the time they wake up, I already got everything set up for them. It's already ready to go. I've already said my prayers for the day. It's just everything starts with me waking up at that 5:30 time to get to that gym for real. So
yeah. And I'm down 13 pounds as of this morning since January, right? So
he moves like a cat, y'all. Y'all got to see Corey do his high box jumps. in this jump rope,
Yeah,
man.
when
He
I
was
jump
supposed
rope.
to be in the league. Yeah, he was supposed to be in the NBA or something crazy.
Hold on, I gotta put this
he
in there
put
though.
that box up.
Yep. I gotta put this in there though. Corey will be late, y'all. He will be late.
Yeah, he will.
He will miss the warm up and come right in like you don't need a warm up. He will.
I sure did do that this morning. It was bugging out. Like I didn't need a warm up. That's a fact.
Like you need a warm up.
That's a fact.
Good stuff.
Listen, y'all. I appreciate y'all jumping in. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate everything that you're pouring into not only myself, but the ability to pour into men and opening the door for men to walk through. Not only to challenge themselves mentally, but also physically is important. And I just encourage all the men to come out. I think we shared it in the chat, the address, and when we come into man's world, it's definitely open to vulnerability. We talk about anything and everything. There's nothing that we can't talk about, we won't talk about. And to Mike's point, I think he shared earlier, we do work out. We try to make sure there's some physical component to it, but sometimes like we get into conversations and we just let it go, right? We just let it talk, let folks talk and get it out. But it's a brotherhood, and it's definitely something that's needed. So I appreciate it. Where can they reach you all, Greg? Obviously, you're a mental health therapist. Mike, you can kind of just share your program from the gym and what you have coming on. I know you have something on Fit Camp this summer. If you want to kind of share that out loud as well.
Yeah, for the youth summer Fit Camp. I know you guys send your kids, your youth from 6 to 12 to the different summer camps. I'm doing my own summer Fit Camp. It's going to be from 9 to 3. We have a before care and after care option with my lovely support system. But anyway, your kids going to get busy. They're going to put them phones down. We're going to have a good time. Man. You're going to get your kids back. They'll be in one piece. And I guarantee they'll be in better shape. Let alone, the website. Check me out on Instagram. You can find the link to my webpage. Just come try a workout out. There's another mental health conference coming up on the 31st. It's at 2411 Lancaster. I'm going to be a part of that. And I'm just encouraging just the men working on themselves. And like Corey said earlier, women, please share this with your men. Encourage them. A lot of times, men are so reluctant. We need them nudges and pushes from the people that care about us. So push that out there. And feel free to send them to Coach C. I'll talk to him. Just tell him, come past, we'll talk. And Greg will get them.
Facts. Hey, so first, I want to give a thanks to the Rebirth and Shay always for sharing their platform. Like you guys said earlier, 4 years ago, Shay trusted me with recommended me to speak at the men's conference on the riverfront, right? And that I get numerous calls from people say that, well, Shay told me to call you. So always big up the Rebirth. Like that was one of my wife's favorite date nights when we went to the Rebirth live show. But my name is Gregory Sneed. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm a licensed therapist. My practice name is Greater Self Therapeutic Services. You can find me on Facebook at Gregory Sneed, Instagram, Greater_Self Therapy. My phone number is 302-305-3819. Primarily with males over the age of 14. I accept most major insurances in the state of Delaware, including Delaware Medicaid.
Awesome. Well, thank you all. Much appreciated. I hope y'all got something out of tonight's show. Definitely mental health, physical health is important. And like they always say, a person can have 1,000 problems, but if you have a health problem, you have one problem, right? Whether that's mental health or physical health. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, Greg. Much appreciated. And wanted to go ahead and shout out, I'm going to throw Mike's flyer up as well as far as the gym goes. So if people stop by the gyms, Mike's fourth quarter fitness training group memberships. Mike, you want to walk through that?
Yep. So if you come one time a week, you see it's $25 to work out. If you come twice a week, it's even cheaper, $45. And this is where you get the absolute steal. I want people to come as much as they possibly can come. Greg talked about earlier how much weight he's lost. Kyra, who Greg talks about, man, she came for me for about 2 months. She had to reprogram some things. And once she figured out what she needed to do, man, I don't even want to tell you how much weight she lost, but you can see the proof in the pudding. Like Greg pointed out, man, it's just the consistency. So I offer options. The number one goal for me, of course, is a business, but man, it's to grow you. It's to get you to walk in your purpose. So feel free, just kind of have a conversation with me. Like I said, 813 open every single day except for Sunday.
And I want to make sure everybody know it's not just men, it's not just people that's in great shape, right? I started and he worked with it through me, you know, encouraging me, show me how to breathe, how to count, find my rhythm, how to do exercises in a safe way. It's women in there, women that, you know, we got Corinne, you got the ladies, OSHA, who are, I'm assuming, a little over 45, but they're in there putting in work. So you ain't got to be somebody with a six pack and already in shape. Everybody in there is working on their personal goal, and it's legit like a family. When I come in at 5:30 and the 4:30 class is leaving, they saying hi, Greg, as if they know me all my life, right? We all kind of have our own relationship. I mean, it's a good environment. So I would say definitely and I know I'm long with it now, but I know like everybody want to pay the $10 a month for Planet Fitness. If you don't really know how to work out and how to structure, how to eat and what you're doing, you want to invest in a coach like Mike in that environment, because, you know, I feed off Corey feed off me, right? Like we did the shuttle test last month. Corey did it in 112 and I did it in 109. I'm like, Corey, we got to run it back, knowing good and well I didn't have no energy to run it back, but because he set the tone, we just feed off of each other every morning on a daily basis. Same thing when, you know, with Miss Diane and Miss Corinne, we constantly, they feeding off me. I'm feeding off them. Corinne say, you know, this summer she wearing a Avengers bathing suit or something like that, right? I'm telling them I'm going to Disney World with no shirts, but it's just a positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just encourage everybody to give it a try, like honestly.
In the last week of every month, we do a fitness test, like Corey said earlier. And I don't care how much y'all say or much you act, everybody wants to see how they did compared to everybody else. And that's what I really love. I love that feeling of wanting to get better, wanting to see where you measure up. You know?
Definitely, sure. Definitely. All right, folks. Well,
all right.
For watching. Thank you for all your comments. And we'll definitely keep you guys encouraged, and we'll be waiting for y'all to walk through those doors.
Yep. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Rebirth. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you.
All right, folks. Well, it's a wrap. Shay is not here. Oh, she's here, but she ain't here. All right. So everybody give a thumbs up so she trusts me again to do this again. But no, I appreciate it. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the comments, y'all. Tune in to Rebirth next week. And, you know, we'll be talking to some queens about a book that they wrote, Holding the Line, right? And just sharing their story. Kind of comes back with some of the things that we shared here as men. So we're all a community. We're here to make sure that we're all continuing to get better. And we will tune in next week. From the Thinker to y'all, Shay, Jen, peace.